Welcome to Ask the Personal Trainer podcast, brought to you by ForeverFit.tv with your host Nicola Riley, here to help you find real health and wellness.
Hey, welcome to episode number 2 of Ask the Personal Trainer. I'm Nicola Riley, your online personal trainer, nutrition and lifestyle coach from ForeverFit.tv. This week, my listener's question is, hey Nicola, I have just had a complete blowout. I've gone off my diet plan. What should I do to get back on track? Hey, so this is quite a common question. And first of all, thanks for letting me know that this is something that has happened and that this is something that you're wanting help with, because it is so common that we do have just complete blowouts where we just binge, where we go on these diets that are quite restrictive, and then we or a big change for ourselves, and then we end up going on a big binge meal, and often a binge weekend, which can lead into a binge week. And so first of all, it's really powerful for you to first acknowledge that you've had a blowout. But what exactly does this mean? First of all, was your blowout something, were you eating foods that were still part of the plan, like were you still eating real foods, or was it a blowout of just a whole lot of gluten, junk, sugar food? Because it's important to understand what caused that binge to happen in the first place. Number one, are you eating enough food? Or have you gone too restrictive? Like, have you gone on a really calorie restricting diet, and are you over exercising? This is important because if a body's malnourished, it is going to do everything that it can to bring in the nutrition that it needs to create a healthy body. So if you're malnourishing your body through restriction and or over exercising, you've gone on a calorie counting real restrictive diet, your body in the end is going to have, it's going to come calling for you, and that's where so many people do have massive big binge blowouts. So first of all, are you eating the right food for your body? Are you eating enough for what your body needs? We've all got certain calories that are at your body needs. And how well is your digested? If you aren't taking care of your digestive health, you're going to be causing all sorts of number one, spikes and lows in your energy. You're going to have hormonal imbalances. You're going to have blood sugar dysregulation, and also you're not going to be absorbing enough minerals and vitamins from your food. Because the thing is, you are only as healthy as the food that you're able to digest and absorb. So if your body thinks it's malnourished, you might go fine for 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe, and then it's going to come calling for you. It's going to say, I need more of this. It's going to start calling. So that's often what happens when people do have a binge weekend, is your body's actually calling for more nutrients and vitamins, but often that might come through as sugar cravings and just general food cravings. And so often people just can binge out and stuff their face, just trying to get the body's just trying to get the nutrition that it needs. My other question as well is, are you eating intuitively, or are you eating according to a plan that you've put on yourself, or that you might have grabbed off the net from somewhere? Because if you're eating intuitively, you're going to be listening to your body, and you're going to be providing your body with the food that it actually needs and the foods that it requires, and you're not just eating because it's been a couple of hours or because it's that time. You're actually eating because your body is hungry. And my other question as well as answering this is, did you blow out once, or have you had just a massive binge weekend? And what does a blowout mean to you? Is it a blowout because you've put on a couple of grams on the scales, or is it a blowout because you've put on 3 or 4 kgs over a couple of days on the scales? Because that opens a whole nother question for me, is what is a blowout to you? And how are you measuring a blowout? If it's a case of you've just overeaten a few potatoes and you've given your body a bit of rest and you haven't exercised, then that's nothing to worry too much about. But if it's more than that, and you've just had an uncontrollable need to eat and sugar and cravings, and it was food that was outside, food that's actually going to cause some damage, and now you've got a massive food hangover, and then all your body wants is more food because it's craving more food because it just feels like rubbish. Well, then we need to get down to the root cause of why that blowout happened. So first we want to figure out why you binged and why it happened in the first place. So you would have answered those first lot of questions. How are you eating enough? How well is your digestive? And those are going to give you some good answers. So if those were all in place, then maybe it's coming down to what sort of expectations are you putting on yourself and the way that you feel your body should look, and you're not going with how your body is feeling and creating that real health. Because we don't have to look far to see pictures that are making us feel bad, or pictures that are putting unrealistic expectations on ourselves. And it's easy to compare ourselves to a fantasy or to a picture about what is seen to be perfect in the media, and believe that our lives should be different and that we need to look a certain way. And then often we beat ourselves up because we aren't achieving those realities. And it's really important to not be guided by fantasy, and to be guided by your own unique values and what's important to you. And this is where it comes down to having a really big overriding dream, a big values, to knowing what's important to you. And I've talked about this before, where it's having a legacy, what's important to you, and having what are you aiming for in this lifetime. When you get your values right and you understand what is true for you, that's when you're going to stop getting off these crash courses. You're going to stop the binging. You're going to stop just chasing diets and chasing this unrealistic fantasy of what you think your body should look like. And when you have a real big goal in mind, you're going to start to eat for real health. You're going to start to take notice, listen to your body, and you're going to start to get some really good values inside yourself, and not resort to these sort of binging weekends. So it is really important for you to first, to get to the root cause of why you could be binging and what is happening with the body, and just to really understand the value that you put on food and the value that you put on what you're trying to achieve. So when we aren't living up to what we put as a value, so say your value is this unrealistic expectation of this supermodel figure, if you're not leading up to that, you're going to be feeling constantly underwhelmed. You're going to feel constantly negative towards yourself, and a feeling of I'm not good enough because I just can't get there. So you're already setting yourself up for failure. But when you set yourself up with some real values, some values that are really meaningful for you, you're going to be able to live towards them, and you're going to be able to make decisions that work around them. So moving forward, think of your binge as a really powerful message from your body, is basically a way of just saying stop being so infatuated, stop being so resentful of yourself, stop trying to compare yourself to others, and just start to appreciate your body that you've got right now, and start to be really grateful for this body that you live in, start to listen to this body that you live in, and start to really make choices that are about fueling your body with purpose, fueling your body with energy, and just start to really appreciate the body that you live in. It's the most valuable tool you'll ever own. So if you are going through a cycle of binge weekends or cravings or things like that, listen to your body, understand what it's telling you, because it talks, and it talks really loud. Get a really big picture of what's important to you in your life, what are your values, and don't be swayed from them. Get a consistent path that you want to head on, and just make your decisions based around that. Is this food going to make me healthy? Am I craving because I'm tired, I just need to get enough sleep? Am I moving enough? Or am I stressing my body out through over-exercising, counting calories, and putting unrealistic expectations on myself? So you've binged, get over it. Know that it's perfectly okay, and take it as a complete blessing in disguise, and just move forward and take it as a lesson learnt that, that you just want to get more things in place, because your body is basically asking you to think more about real health instead of about diets and restriction, and just finding that happy, healthy body that you're after. Hey, so that there was this week's episode of Ask the Personal Trainer. I hope that helped you out. If you've got a question for next week, please send it on in, submit it below, and I would love to be able to answer your question on the show. And if you haven't already, make sure you sign up to my newsletter, join the Forever Fit community, get weekly updates of all my latest recipes, of all the latest blog posts that I've been writing, what's been happening in the online gym, everything that you need to help you find real health and wellness and be a part of the Forever Fit community that is growing daily around the world. And if you want, join the online gym and get over 400 workouts that you can do in your living room, and have me as your own online personal trainer helping you every step of the way. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon for next week's episode.